Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name's Miranda. I'm an artist. I do art things on YouTube whenever I feel like it. This month, I decided to torture myself. I'm gonna be drawing every day for 30 days. This is really gonna be a challenge for me because for as long as I've been doing art, I can't remember a time where I've ever drawn for 30 days straight. I don't even think I've drawn every day for a week in my life. I've never been the type of person to draw every day, and growing up watching YouTube videos of artists saying that if something's your passion, you have to do it every single day and you have to find the time or else you're gonna fail at it. It kind of just made me feel really bad about myself. But now as I'm older, I've kind of accepted the fact that I'm never gonna be the type to draw every day, and that's okay. Just because I don't do something every day doesn't mean it can't be my passion. But I did want to challenge myself and see if I could draw every day. So I decided to give myself a time frame of 30 days. I'm doing this challenge in November, and November is 30 days long. So I don't know when you're going to be seeing this video, but I am doing it in November of 2022. I've already been doing this challenge for 3 days, and it's really hard. I struggle drawing when I have no ideas that really interest me, and I do want to get better at that. So it's mostly going to be me sketching and trying out new things. So don't expect greatness. Don't expect it to be the best thing in the entire world. I'm gonna try not to spend more than an hour or two on each drawing, because then it'll become very tedious and I'm not gonna stick with it. Honestly, if I wasn't making this video, I probably wouldn't be doing this challenge. This is simply for your viewing pleasure. Do I have any goals for this? So that's all I'm gonna say for now. I am gonna film some of the drawings that I make this month, but definitely not all of them, because then I'm gonna have way too much footage and this video is gonna be 2 hours long. I'll try to condense it down all into one part if I could. I will be doing voiceovers of most of the drawings. I'll tell you what my thought process was while I was doing them, and then I'll see you guys in the flip through. Okay, so I started off this drawing by making a very messy border, and I'm pretty much just trying out a new pattern that I found on TikTok. I'm not trying to make it too perfect. I'm not worrying about messy lines. I'm just trying to have fun with this drawing. I'm using just a generic Sharpie because I'm not worried about making this drawing too professional. And you'll see in the flip through that most of my drawings are Zentangle patterns, but most of them are done with larger Sharpies, because since I was drawing every day, I took that opportunity to test out new patterns that I normally wouldn't have done. I found a lot of them on TikTok. They're just very common patterns that a lot of people do. Some I decided to put my own twist on them, and overall it was just a very relaxing process to make all these drawings. I really enjoyed myself. I tried not to stress out too much about them. If I made a mistake, I didn't really care. And what I do a lot of times when I'm testing out new patterns is I'll make a drawing with only that pattern with a larger Sharpie, and if it looks good, then I'll add it to my pattern book and I can reference that whenever I'm making an actual professional drawing. And this pattern was definitely added to my pattern book. I really love it. It also looks good with fine tip Sharpies. What the fuck? Yes, I'm sorry. I know the word is fine liner. I don't even say it right once in this video. I apologize. It's annoying me too, very much. So for the first couple of days of this challenge, I did do good. I was drawing every single day, and then at one point I got sick and I just forgot about drawing, and it was like maybe 3 days that I didn't draw, but those 3 days kind of screwed me over, because then for the rest of this challenge I would either skip a day or two and then have to catch up on another day, and then I would end up drawing for 4 hours in a day and then none the next day. So it was just a whole mess at one point, but I did really enjoy this process. I'm glad I did it. I definitely will do it again, because drawing and not being worried about being perfect, just drawing for fun, is something that I haven't done in a long time. And I realized that I need to do that. I need to draw for fun, or else I'm gonna forget why I love art. So it was a good reminder why this is my passion and why I chose to have this as my job. So even though I didn't draw every single day, I think this is a very successful challenge, and I'm honestly really proud of myself for doing it. I do have 30 drawings by the end, and it was just really, really fun. So I did start this drawing another day, but I didn't end up finishing it because I got preoccupied. I was at my aunt's house. We ended up talking all day. The only thing I did was stain the page with coffee because I thought that would look really cool. So I got a couple of splotches on there and then decided to draw some faces. Now keep in mind, I'm an abstract artist. I'm not very good at drawing people, faces, figures, anything like that. So these aren't the best. They don't look very good by the end, but I did have fun drawing them, and I do need to practice drawing faces and people and environments because I'm working on a graphic novel, and lately I've been working on the graphic novel a lot more because me and my cousin decided to get together once a week to work on things that we're writing. So I'm taking that opportunity to work on my graphic novel, and since I'm illustrating it, I do need to practice a certain style of drawing because I do want my graphic novel to look good. And the next drawing you're gonna see is a different style of figure drawing and drawing faces that I enjoy a lot more. So in the future, if I ever write another graphic novel, I'm gonna try to incorporate that type of style of drawing or create a story around that type of drawing. Okay, hi, a little mid-video update. I've kind of dropped the ball on drawing every day. It's currently the 25th of November. I haven't drawn anything since the 18th. I've been very busy, but that's no excuse. I still have time in the day to draw. I just choose to do other things. But I still want to have 30 drawings by the end of this month. So I'm gonna try to draw math. I'm gonna try to do 7 drawings today, and they're not gonna be the greatest drawings because I'm gonna do them super fast, but I've also taken the path of rediscovering my love for art and not spending too much time on each drawing and not trying to be perfect instead of trying to refine my skills and all that, which was my original goal. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just trying to fall in love with art again, which I am doing. I've drawn more this month than I've probably drawn in the past 3 years combined. So I think that's a very good thing. That's progress that's being made. Even though I haven't drawn every single day, I still have been successful in this challenge so far, and it's given me more than I can even imagine and things that I didn't even know I wanted out of art. So I'm super happy with that. But that being said, I need to do 7 drawings. I'm gonna be exhausted by the end of this, but worth it. It's gonna be worth it. So I finished my sketch and now I'm going over it with my fine tip markers just to make it stand out a little bit more. I didn't really need to do this, but I decided it would look good. And as soon as I finished that, I thought the drawing was done, but looking back at it a little bit later, I thought something was missing. So I added some squiggles with highlighter, and I decided to outline the coffee splotches with a magenta marker. And I think this just made the drawing way more interesting, and it looks very, very good in my opinion. This next drawing is a style you're gonna see a lot in this sketchbook. If you go on TikTok and you look up trash art, I think her name is, hold on, let me check her name because I can't remember. Her name is Savannah Lore. I think that's how you pronounce it. She made this video about trash art, and I followed somebody else's drawing that they did with markers and highlighters, and I thought that looked really good, and I became really obsessed with that style. So there's maybe like 3 or 4 trash art drawings in this sketchbook, and doing these types of drawings was honestly the most fun I had during this challenge. I've always been really into drawing really weird characters, so this was just right up my alley. I think I want to incorporate this into my art in the future. Like I said before, I am interested in writing a graphic novel with the intention of using this style for the illustrations. This particular trash art drawing is not one of the best of the 3 or 4 that I made, but it is a solid drawing. I think it looks really, really cool. I'm going over some lines with thicker Sharpies and bolder colors and just adding to what's already there, not worrying too much about anatomy because it's supposed to look weird and off. I'm just really obsessed with this style. I really, really loved it. I did do one trash art drawing with warmer colors, so red, orange, yellow, things like that, and it didn't turn out as nice as the blue. I think the blue just works really well with being messy on the page and doing a bunch of squiggles and making a really interesting looking character. So most of the characters that I did draw are cooler tones. I think next time I try trash art, I'm gonna try what Savannah Lore did, which is use fine tip Sharpies, because you can get a little bit more control with that, and I think it would look really cool. So that's pretty much it for the drawings that I filmed. So now I'm gonna do a flip through of the sketchbook and if there's anything interesting to talk about. So I love doing abstract drawings with markers. I think they're really interesting. I've been doing these for years, so I just decided to start off the sketchbook with something easy and familiar to me. Again, another abstract drawing, taking inspiration from a past drawing that I did with a bunch of shapes on the page, and also an idea that I had for a drawing that I made a long time ago with the bold colored smiley faces. Oh, okay. This one's interesting. I went to a party and my friends and I took a selfie, so that's what that picture highlighted in pink is. And then the interesting looking character holding a pumpkin is a picture of me. Again, I'm not good at drawing people, so it looks like, not good. And the anatomy is all off, but that's okay, because practice makes perfect. This is the first trash art drawing that I did in the sketchbook, one of my favorites. I think she looks really good, really interesting. Another trash art drawing. This is the one that I did in the warmer tones. That looks good, but not as good as the cooler tone drawings. Another abstract drawing with markers. I didn't really like the way this one turned out, but you know what? Trying not to make things too perfect, so I just went along with it. Some Zentangle. I think this was me testing out a pattern that I learned in a physical drawing because I had only done these in digital drawings before, and it looks really good on a physical drawing, so I am adding it to my book of patterns. Another Zentangle drawing with me trying out a new pattern. I didn't really freak over this one, but I'm going to try it again with my fine tip markers. If it looks good in a smaller, more refined form, then I will add it to my book of patterns. This pattern is actually the first Zentangle pattern that I ever learned when I started drawing Zentangle, and it just made me flash back to when I started and gained this passion. Another trash art drawing. I decided to do this drawing with more sophisticated hair. What's the word? Like not bushy and all over the place hair. I don't know the word for that. Anyway, I think she looks really cool. So this is the Zentangle drawing that we talked about before. This pattern makes many appearances in this challenge. I really fell in love with this pattern, definitely going in my pattern book. It was really fun to do. This pattern made me think of water, so I decided to do it in cool tone colors. And then another Zentangle drawing, just easy drawing, since for a lot of these I had to do 2 or 3 drawings in a day since I skipped some days. Another Zentangle drawing. This was really fun to do as well. And again, this pattern, I wanted to do it in red, and I think it looks really cool. And that same pattern again, just the lines follow each other. So if you take the time and you start on the left-hand side where the pattern goes off the page and you follow it with your finger, you can actually follow the entire pattern across the page. And I think that's just a really cool element. I think this is the drawing that took me the longest out of this entire challenge. So originally I had a goal to practice drawing people, so that's what I was doing here, but I didn't really follow that for a majority of this challenge, so I kind of took that out of the video, but this is what I was trying to do. I was just trying to practice drawing people. Again, another example of me testing out a new pattern that I learned, and I'm definitely adding this to my pattern book. Now this was me using some new patterns that I learned in a singular piece, and I think it looks really good. Again, me testing out some new patterns to see if they look good in different contexts, if they mesh well with different patterns that I already know, and they look really good. Also a really fun drawing. This was the pattern that I wasn't sure about that I decided to do with smaller Sharpies. And I think it looks okay. It's obviously not my favorite pattern, but it does look good, so I will be adding it to my pattern book, just so that if I run out of ideas, I know I can always come back to this. Again, a different pattern. This pattern, actually, I've been doing since like my first year of high school, and I haven't revisited it in a while. So this is just me seeing if I still enjoyed it, and I still do. It's really fun to do. I just don't really do it very often because I kind of grew out of this style, but I did want to revisit it. So for this drawing, I actually ran out of ideas of what to draw. I was really stumped, and my brother's girlfriend suggested I draw a lotus flower, and I think it turned out really good. I don't like the way I did the purple, but hey, what are you gonna do? So I actually really hate this drawing. I wanted to try out doing a Zentangle drawing with multiple colors, and I don't like it at all. I think it looks really weird, but again, I'm trying not to be perfect, so it is what it is. For this drawing, I was actually following a tutorial that I found on TikTok. I can't remember who I was following it from, but I think it looks really good. We already saw this drawing. We already saw this drawing too. Just another random Zentangle because I ran out of ideas this day. A very bad face drawing. And this is actually one of my favorite drawings of this challenge. I don't know where the hell it came from. I just started drawing a face and it turned into this. Sometimes I just start drawing and whatever happens, happens. So this is definitely one of those. And that's it, guys. As usual, I forgot to make an outro. So thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, especially if you stayed to the end. Please go check out my Patreon. I have a lot of perks on there. I have a coloring book out. I have an Etsy where you can buy some of my art. I have a TikTok, I have an Instagram. All that stuff is going to be linked in the description below. I love you all, and I will see you next week.